Alrighty.
Man, this is bad right here, man. So it's with some of those Lakers, B. They getting swept. I don't know. I see Kyrie courtside. Was Russell was D'Angelo Russell scared or something?
Listen,
Stage fright.
listen. That whole wait a minute. That whole trade. What they played tonight? 14 minutes and 4 points. I feel a little vindication for my man Russ. You know what I'm saying? They did him dirty out the door, but it is what it is, man. This is the business.
Oh, what? Oh, you talking about Westbrook?
Yeah. I'm just saying the whole trade. All three of the guys they got. Reed was a different trade,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
all three of the guys they got wound up was playing for 4 points tonight. The other two was on the bench, Beasley and Vanderbilt. They never got in the game,
Right, right.
but yeah, listen, man. Props to LeBron for showing up. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. He did his thing.
Mhm.
I just saw a lot of 80 hate, which is unfair because I caught it in the second half, right? I caught it in the second half, and I saw 80 block a couple shots. Aaron Gordon drove around LeBron. 80 was at least trying, but you remember what I was telling you, right? How both of them being dominant in the same game is like a rarity, and so that, one was like I guess they said he was on the spot. I didn't see the first half. I mean, they were up 15, so you couldn't be have that many complaints. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron was inspired. He didn't want to go out like that. I understand.
Yeah, he definitely didn't want to go out like that. I think he ended up
But
with 40 points, right?
40, 10, and 9. 40, 10, and 9. It was a great, he missed the last two misses. You can't really get mad. He was put in bad positions. But listen, man. Like I said from the first game, I said, listen, they gave them their best punch, and Denver just played methodical ball and just got right back into that game. But it was like middle of they caught up middle of the third quarter. They was down 15 at halftime.
Yeah.
Like this is that thing, man. Better teams beat better stars. So everybody's still trying to do that 2-man, 3-man super team stuff. It's not rocking no more. So it is what it is. It's like they got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what they can do. They gotta get Austin Reeves and Rui back. Listen, Rui in the starting lineup tonight. He's showing you why he was out there. Like he's good. He's got potential. But he ain't no star, bro. He's my third, fourth guy. Maybe if you put him in the right spots, he can succeed.
And
But
Jamal Murray was cooking them all series. He was cooking
cooking,
all the guards. I'm surprised on the real. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. I think he had a chance to get that MVP though.
yeah, it was a chance. It was a shot. But I think tonight, especially closing it out the way he did, Joker, because Joker. I mean, really, I guess first game was Joker, right? Second, third was Murray. And then this last game, Joker just went to work. He did nothing in the first half and just went to work in the second half.
Right.
Look at that. I got my guys in the other chat saying they sending D-Lo to the airport, straight to the airport.
Yeah,
Straight to China, God. Come on,
yeah,
y'all. Come
Yo,
on, y'all.
this.
Nice, man.
Yo, tell him to hop on this. Send him the link to this.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try to post it in the I posted the last one in there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let them know.
yeah,
I'm gonna let them know right now.
yeah. But yo, I think they should. We can see Kyrie at courtside. You think Kyrie gonna go to the Lakers or what? Or he may go to.
I mean, it's gonna take a lot.
I mean, who comes off the books? I mean, can they do a signing trade, or can they decide?
It would have it would have to be with Russell, right? I mean, it would have to be with Russell. You would have to try to use Russell's bird rights to go over, and you still want to sign
Reeves?
you still want to sign D'Lo and you want to sign Reeves. So can you get all three of them? That's damn near impossible. You know what I mean? Damn near impossible to bring all three of them back. And if you're telling me that unless you move AD or LeBron, I mean, it's very hard. It's going to be hard to move those contracts because I know they got the play option on the year after next.
Mm.
looking at their cap situation, I mean, you probably want to either bring Vanderbilt back at that $4 million or trade him. You know what I mean? Because $4 million, a guy of his caliber, you might as well do that. And other than that, that's everybody else is off the books. Everybody else is free.
Yeah, Uchimura, I think is off the books as well.
Uchimura is free. Reeves is free. Everybody's free. So you're gonna have to play that Jerry Maguire, man. Show them your money.
Yeah, they're gonna have to build that roster again, But I think dudes will want to stay in LA anyway. But
they will probably want to. But you remember when we was talking about the contracts, man? Like when somebody come up with a good $25 million a year for a guy like Reeves, the most I think he can get is 80. Most he can get is 80, but Hashimura could get 25. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but somebody might. Because remember, he's coming off his rookie deal. He was a lottery pick the same year Zion and RJ and all them guys was and John Morant, all them guys was
I mean, what in terms of like LeBron's legacy? I mean, he got swept before. He got swept. Matter of fact, he got swept quite a few times. He got swept when he was with Cleveland, right? With Cleveland twice. The first go round, he got swept by the Spurs.
Yeah,
right?
with the Spurs. Yeah, by the Spurs.
And then he got swept. He got swept in the finals when they went against Cleveland again. When they went against Golden State. Right?
Yeah, the Golden State one.
The third time.
Those only sweeps, and now this one in the conference final. Well, there was no first round, there was no second round sweeps. Yeah. So this is the third one. I mean, unless you count the gentlemen 5 games. He's always giving her the fight. I mean, you can see, he just ran into listen, they did overachieve with this team. The team got better after the trade deadline. All those guys talking about scary hours and winning the championship. Like I said, I had this feeling they were going to run into a complete team. And, just their issues were going to show. I think Darvin Ham did a good job. I think he did a good, especially for first-year coach. They even said he was missing in Milwaukee. He's the guy missing in Milwaukee needed on that staff to, Guys, I invited him on. He said they hope they don't fire the Lakers coach. Ham, you gotta give him another shot to put this back together. Get him some young talent. Get him some young talent, some shooters. See, Schroeder's probably out the door. With showing the defensive effort he put on Murray. He probably got himself a lot more, a lot of money. Showed he's at least a backup. He showed he's at least a backup in this league, which I was surprised Boston didn't keep him when they had him. Like I thought he would have fit nicely in Boston. Even this year they could have used him in Boston. Because let me tell you something, man. Smart is overrated on defense. Him getting a defensive player of the year. I know he was pesky last year, but he's really overrated. He's not. I'm not saying he's a bad defender, but he's not Gary Payton. And remember, Gary Payton was the last guard to get defensive player of the year.
Right.
So I thought they would keep him in. Now I know they got Brogdon, and Brogdon actually didn't get hurt this year. You know what I'm saying? And I know they got White, but I mean, it is what it is. But so Schroeder's gonna get a nice, decent contract somewhere.
I mean, he's overrated as a point guard to me anyway. I don't see him as like Marcus Smart to me. I mean, he's overrated as a point guard to me.
Yeah, he's overrated. He shouldn't. I don't
even see him as like.
Rethink things.
I don't understand how he's listed as a point guard. I really don't understand how he's listed as a point guard. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. But it's whatever. I mean, to me, he's just like a smaller version. He's like a 6'3", 6'4" version of Draymond Green. But he can't break anybody down off the defense and anything like that. He can't. You ever seen it?
But if you look at it like the game, you look at like you don't see like you don't see like traditional point guards like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying, but it's like you rarely see it. Like you got Jokic playing the point. You know what I'm saying? At times,
Right.
like distributing, bringing it down. You know what I'm saying? Orchestrating the, you know what I'm saying, the offense. You know what I mean? So you see, you got Boston. They on that team. I think they do need a prototypical point guard. You
Yeah,
know
they
what I'm
do.
saying? But I think that's what they're missing, like that prototypical point guard. But if you see like in their offensive sets, like Smart, real like you said, he's not. He rarely brings the ball up. He may bring it up from time to time when they need to, slow the pace up a little bit. But for the most part, you know what I mean. Tatum will bring it up. You know what I mean. Tatum
Right.
will bring it up, then swing it to Jalen, and they get, then they do what they do. So I get it though. But you really see like, you really see like traditional point guards out here. So to say he's not, I get it, but you don't see too many traditional prototypical point guards in the league anymore. You know what I mean?
Different game. Your point guards got to be. They got to be a little bit more than they used to be.
There we go. Yeah. There we go.
What he said?
There you go. He said that they got to be a little bit more than what they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like before, like you could be a
now point guards get more of the scoring load.
Yeah. Like back then, you could be a starting point guard and just average. Avery Johnson averaged like 6 points a game. B, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was a starting point guard.
He was a
son. He was averaging 6 points. He was averaging 6 or 7 points a game.
Yeah, but he was a floor general.
I know, but what I'm saying is like you're not gonna see a point guard in the NBA today averaging 6 points a game.
So what I'm trying to say is like Johnson is smart. Just imagine if A.B. Johnson was his size. Who'll be a better point guard than him?
Yes, he's definitely a better point guard. That's a fact. What I'm saying is that's not debatable. That's a fact. He's way better than Marcus Smart as a point guard. Yes. But what I'm saying is in these days and time, you know what I'm saying? He probably wouldn't be a starter in the league right now. He wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be a starter right now. And he was a starter for a lot of years in the NBA, be averaging like 6, 7 points a game, yo. A lot of years, yo. He wouldn't be a starter in the NBA in this league right now. He wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back. Yeah, I'm going in. I was actually trying to sign into StreamYard to cast it to my group and all that stuff. But it sending me the link to my email, so I was trying to do all of that. And
I'll do it. I'll share it on there.
But you feel me though, T?
Yeah, I feel you.
Because it's like it's just, but he's a better point. Like, that's what I'm saying. You need point guards like that in the NBA. But remember, a lot of point guards. Remember back in the day, it's like, he's a good point guard. He got a handle. He could assist, but he ain't got a jump shot, and they ain't lasting on. Remember those guards? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They was like, he ain't got a jump shot, and then those guards faded away.
Remember Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf? Now, see, they wouldn't let him rock because he was more of a 2. He was just one size, but he was a 2. He had a 2's game, sort of like when Phil Jackson tells you that was Curry of our era. He's not BSing.
Yeah.
Mahmoud was just a straight scorer. You know what I'm saying? And when those Denver teams, they kind of didn't want you know what I'm saying? They didn't really want him at the point guard, but they wanted him on the floor, and they never let him loose. Then when the whole national anthem controversy started, that was it. Mahmoud could ball. He could straight up gun. You see him with the big 3, man. Like that dude is just. He was automatic.
Yeah, 50. He's 50, still cooking him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Back then the hand checking. Once hand checking was taken out of the game, it changed a lot. Yo, if y'all remember the '94 finals, man, Kenny Smith sits up here talking about his rings, but Derek Harper took him out of that series, bro. Harper, if it wasn't for Cassell coming in off the bench, man, Houston was in trouble. Knicks was gonna win that chip, man. Because Derek Harper had Kenny Smith. Like, look at his numbers, bro. He was like 6 points, 2 assists, 30 something. Like, he couldn't get the ball up the court because that hand checking. So that was one of them equalizers. This is when that's one of them equalizers. That's why point guards today. I'm not saying it's easier because now you gotta beat guys to the spot. They get caught with charging and stuff like that a lot. But back then you could put your hand on the guy and really kind of gauge where he's going. So the separation was different back then. But now, you gotta have a little bit of everything. You see, listen, you see what Brunson is, man. Brunson is like, I'm not saying he's prototypical because there's things that he really can't do, but the way Brunson plays, man, is like real made for this era of basketball.
He could score from anywhere in the court. Easily.
Score from anywhere. Got that left-handed where he just it feel like he's gotten the ball. He has the ball on the string once it leaves his hand. Yeah, he's always been around 50% shooting in the range. Now he got the 3-point game a little bit hot. Then he's physical. You got to get physical back with him, And this is the thing. You got to have a point guard. You got to have a point guard or some sort of off-ball playmaker to win in this game. The Knicks, honestly, it took the Knicks 20 years to figure this out, right? It took us 20 years to figure it out. You cannot go in with. Meanwhile, we passing all the good to great point guards in the draft, right? We even passed on Halliburton. Well, I think he's good. We passed on Halliburton for Obi. I get why we did it, but it was like we had need for point guard. So if you weren't going to get a point, coming in last year, and the year 2 years ago with Elfrid Payton, Elfrid Payton. I was thinking about this earlier. Elfrid Payton, I used to call him low budget Rondo. My man is great value Rondo, man. Like my man was great value Rondo. And come playoff time, you saw it. That no jump shot having just can't rock with that.
You gotta have that jump shot, man.
Yeah, you gotta have some tools.
That's when, and bringing it back to Avery Johnson real quick. When the Spurs started winning, he developed that little mid-range, that little foul shot, that little mid-range. He started making those, and then that's when they started winning. You heard? For real.
I remember. And then
for real. That's when they started winning. When they started leaving them open. He started making them joints, hitting them elbow joints, them elbow jump shots. Boom, boom. Word.
Yeah, you had a little Vinny Del Negro as a secondary guard.
Yeah.
They brought in Antonio Daniels at one point. So that was the beginning of the Popovich system, man. Popovich always brought in players that filled what the team needs. And once he took out Duncan put him next to Robinson, that was championship level since then.
Yes, sir.
Denver got kind of that system going right now too, man.
Yeah, they got that in and out. They got that in and out game going on right now.
Exactly.
And that's dominant center. You got a dominant center that could shoot. He could rebound. He could pass.
Fought him in the second round. Crazy.
And you got Jamal Murray. You know what I mean? Jamal Murray. He could hit the three. He could hit you anywhere. He can score on any part of the court, half court. His half court game is official. You know what I'm saying? He kind of reminds me of he's official, man. Like he's official, and he's strong too. He'll take it to the hole. He got that mid range. You know what I mean? He don't have to lay up. He can lay you up. He can hit that mid range. He can hit the three. So he's dangerous. He's dangerous, man. He's dangerous. And then you got Michael Porter. You got Gordon. They got a complete team though. They deep. You know what I mean?
Complete squad. They got
a complete squad, and they clicking. And they clicking. And it
Yep.
seems like they know they roles and they clicking. Like that's the thing. It seems like they playing for each other. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like, they just clicking. They clicking, and it just looks like they playing for each other, man. You know what I'm saying? They
Playing
know
for
they
the coach
roles.
too.
And that's key.
Playing for their coach too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Playing for
give
that
him
coach.
credit.
I like after game one, everybody was like, "Oh, Lakers are the story." He's like, "Wait a minute, you saw what we just did?" Like, and everybody's talking about the Lakers. Like, no, listen, he gave it back to the media. He said, "Listen, he knew his team. He knew what he had on his team, bro. He knew like he had all the moves, all the counter punches, and all that. He knew." Sometimes when you know you got the better roster, you just gonna let it go. And again, you got the best player on the court. You got the best player on the court. LeBron is
I
LeBron, but
think
he's not the same.
I think the Lakers just wanted to beat the Warriors, man. I think after they beat the Warriors, man, that was their finals. Yeah.
Well, we done come a long way if that's
I
what it's
think I
about.
think I think that was their finals, man. I think after they beat the Warriors, they was like, man, we did it. We beat the champs, and because I mean, come on,
Yeah,
man. Like, I
yeah.
mean, to get swept. I mean, Denver is the better team, but I mean, give me one, baby. Like, give me one game. Give me one. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they
Absolutely.
had this game right here. They had, they was in position to win. And it
Yeah.
was on your home court. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, it happens. But
See, to
I'm just saying, man, like, come on, LeBron, AD, Reeves, you made that trade. You made that trade, and you still get swept. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know, man. They're gonna have to. I don't know. They're gonna have to retool or something.
And
I
Russell was
mean,
a big
Denver is a better team. I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, Denver is a better team. I mean, they're clicking. Look like they got good camaraderie. Like, but I'm just saying, like, to get swept, I don't know. You said like for LeBron James legacy. That's what you said, right, T?
Yeah, I mean, he's still gonna be a top 5 player, but people are gonna run with this narrative. Oh, you got swept 3 times, especially if once you get into the Jordan, LeBron,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
and
And see what they gonna do.
Jordan got swept before, but he never got swept in the conference finals. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
he got
now,
swept by the Celtics twice.
right,
Once,
once,
once.
but that was like
That was twice. It was
that was
No, once.
it was in the first
From
round, I
what I
think.
can remember, maybe I could be
yeah,
wrong.
it
I
was
could be
86
wrong.
and 87. Yeah,
Yeah, but that
Oh,
was like in
okay.
the first
but
round. So it was like 3-0. So I mean, really, it
but
is a
but,
sweep. But
but what you gotta
really,
understand, like, see, Bron fans they bring that up, but the Celtics have 5 Hall of Famers, bro. They have Bill Walton coming off the bench, bro. Like the Celtics of '86 were like top, arguably the best team of all time. I mean, yo, that was the pinnacle of the Celtics basketball, and
And
Jordan
Jordan
was
was the
playing.
only All Star.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing. Yo, George Gervin was in '80. Mind you, he came back. He had the foot. He broke his foot and came back. Was playing 20 minutes a game just to even get them in the playoffs. This, that, and the third. And then Jordan came out and played like God. And Larry Bird said that's God and sneakers, right? But it was nothing. I mean, 63 points is still a playoff record to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to sit there and go at this guy, like go at Jordan when he was a young dude, nobody on the team. Then the next year, Charles Oakley is the second best. Think about this, bro. Yo, we remember Oakley, right? What would you do with Charles Oakley as your second best scorer, as your second leading scorer on the team? Like, come
Yeah, that's a
on.
fact.
And you're playing the Celtics. You're playing Bird, Bird, Parrish, McHale, Ainge, DJ. I think Walton had retired after '86. I'm not sure.
Parrish. You said Parrish, right?
Yeah, Parrish. You know what I'm saying? Walton came off the bench in '86, but he was still, give him like 10 points.
Danny Ainge.
Yeah, Jordan playing with guys like Granville Waters and what's the center? They didn't even they didn't even have Cartwright yet because Oakley.
You know who he missing though. You know who Jordan did play with, and he got busy. Who you forgetting though?
Oh,
Yeah, he
Woolridge.
wasn't Woolridge, you heard?
Yeah, Woolridge in '86. Woolridge in '86. He wasn't in '86. I think he got traded away. So by
Yeah, he got
'87,
traded.
Oakley was the second leading scorer. Like, what are you gonna do that? And then after '87, when they drafted Pippen and Grant, and again, well, now he got Pippen. Pippen was a baby. Pippen was like they called him Scott Pippen back in the day. Like they didn't even call him. He wasn't even Scotty yet in '88, man. You know what I'm saying? That first playoff game, he had 0 points.
He wasn't Pippen. He wasn't.
He had to be developed. He was the guy coming out of Central Arkansas that nobody was like, who is that? Why y'all drafting him number 5? And then, Seattle drafted him. They traded him for Olin Polynice and like another pick later down the line. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is what people don't realize too. Guess whose original pick was Scotty was the 5th pick, '87. That was the Knicks' original pick. Right? We had traded it. Yeah, I think we traded it. Huh?
Seattle, right?
Yeah. No, but it was the Knicks' original pick. We had traded it to some. I think we traded. We might have traded it in a Bernard King trade. I'm not sure. It might have been. I got to go look at my little history joint. But that was the Knicks' original pick. So, you know what I'm saying? It wound up in Seattle, and then Seattle wound up trading Scotty to what's the name for Polynice. And rest is history. Listen, but this is my thing. This is my thing. They always talk about Jordan had Pippen. Jordan, I said this. Pippen was great. He was great, amazing talent, awesome. Awesome. He had his limitations. He wasn't the best jump shooter. He was a little soft. He was a little, he didn't show up in big games, right? You look at it. His Game 6 and Game 7 record was terrible. If he didn't have to get to a Game 6, But the thing about Pippen, him and Phil, once Phil got him, Jordan made that dude feel like he was the best player on the planet. You feel what I'm saying? Jordan made him feel like you were like, you like equal to me. And Pippen came in with that confidence. And once he started feeling that way, and then he finally grew up against the Pistons, right? Because the Pistons, they used to get in his head the same way they was getting in Jordan's head. Once he grew up against the Pistons, it was a wrap. It was no stopping him no more. You know what I'm saying? So all of this is talk about AD and this and the third. And I told you, I think I said this on my live the other day. It's like I said that LeBron needed to let AD know. He needed to just like bestow, this is your team. You know what? Forget what they're saying in the media. This is your team. And I'm going to come out every day and make sure you get enough touches, enough everything. And I don't think LeBron did that.
He did it without saying it, but he was getting touches. But it's just that he's just not performing. He's just up and down. I mean, he gave him the keys without actually saying it, but he did let him get his shine off. Look what he did in first year. First year he was killing.
You know what it is? I think it went deeper with the Bulls though, because I'm telling you, even what's the name put this in his book, Phil. He said, listen, we had to like really play these mind games with Pippen to really make him believe he would. Because listen, mind you, a guy coming out of Central Arkansas, he enrolled as a team manager. He was like 5'11" and he shot up to 6'8" while he was in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you never would think a guy like that's going to think he's going to be one of the best players in the world one day. And they had to really mind F him to make him believe he was, and that's how it went down. So yeah, listen, AD, as talented as he is, should already be nasty. It's all listen. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. AD should be what the Greek freak is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for whatever reason, there's like a motor issue there. But he's so naturally good and gifted that he should be getting 25, at least 25 and 10 almost every night. You know what I mean? It might be nice he's in foul trouble. That's the only excuse for him not getting a 25 and 10, in my opinion. But it's just what it is. So I guess this day and age, you got to motivate these younger guys, man. You got to motivate these younger guys. But at 30 years old, I think he had a great series, to be honest. I think he had a great series. Not perfect. For game 1, he was dominant. Game 2, he wasn't as good. but he brought it on defense the whole series. Like I said, game 1 he was Chamberlain. Game 2 he was Russell. He's more Russell with the defense. But he was solid. It's just they needed, of course, against Denver. He needed to be at least somewhat equal to the Joker. And even especially when Joker had a struggle game 3, he needed to be better.
But they also needed a third.
He needed to be better. LeBron needed.
I feel like either way, he would have had, even if he was scoring 40, 20, all those numbers, it still wouldn't have been enough because you still got Gordon, you still got Porter. Those are still, those are considered bigs these days. You know what I'm saying? Those are bigs. Those are today's like power forwards. You know what I'm saying? So you got. You got Porter, you got Gordon, you got Jokic, and Jokic. You know what I mean? The best center, like arguably the best center in the game. Like, so that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. He was overmatched. You know what I'm saying? Like even if he would have still been dominant, it still wouldn't have been enough. It still would have been enough, yo. It wouldn't have been enough, yo. He would have had heroic numbers. He would have to unstoppable. And come on, let's be real. We haven't seen AD be like consistent with that, ever, So
I can't blame. I can't. Yo, that's what it is, right? KD, he's just not. He should be, but he's not. It just there's a reason why all them years in New Orleans they only got out the first round one time. It wasn't like that because again he had Drew Holiday the whole time until that last year.
Yeah, the year before they swept.
Actually, he had Drew Holiday the whole time.
Yeah, the year before they swept the Trailblazers. And then
they took Dame and them out. Yep, I remember that. And then Boogie got. Then they got Boogie. Boogie got hurt. He tore his Achilles chasing that rebound on the foul line. And him and Boogie could have got busy. That's the thing. Is always we never know if Boogie never got hurt on that. If he never tore his Achilles, what could they have done together in the playoff? You know what I'm saying? You throw in a Holiday. We never know, but so he wound up with LeBron, and it's just see that's the thing. They roster. See, one thing you can't do. One thing you can't do is change the roster every year. You're not gonna be a championship level team. Doing that. The first year when they had AD, they had a deep stacked squad, but everybody was on 1-year deals. You know what I'm saying? So when they weren't able to sign everybody else, they had to come up with a whole new squad. Still had a good squad for the most part, but then AD got hurt and then LeBron twisted his ankle, and you saw what happened in the playoffs. They did it again. Now they got to do it again. It's tough to build like that.
Right. So moving on to the Celtics.
Tough to build like that.
What's it gonna do? What do you think the Celtics gonna do? You think if they get swept, you think they should fire their coach? You think Thomas Rose get fired? I don't think.
Nah, they can't. They can't.
I know they're not, but
they can't.
It's possible. You never know, man. The NBA is shaky, bro. The organizations, man. They should have never fired Ime. I know what he did. I don't know. Nobody knows what he did. It's all speculation at this point. You get what I'm saying? Nobody knows exactly what he did for that.
It's going to look bad because of their Doka situation.
Yeah, they should have at least suspended him for like 20 games and then brought him back. They suspended him for a whole year and then, he ended up getting fired.
Now he's out. He's out. You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely think they missed.
I'm hearing some internal stuff. I'm hearing some internal locker room stuff. I'm sure they're going to like kind of assess it. But I think they got to come back with him because I don't think he's a bad coach. I think something happened. I think something happened.
Do you think he's a little bit
whatever it is? Listen, they still got talent, huh?
do you think he's a little bit too passive? I mean, in his approach, because he made some questions, even like in the in the series, or I think it was last series, he on 2 occasions, on 2 different games, he should have called, he should have called the timeout. Luckily, they beat the 76ers, but the two games in which they lost, and I think they were down by like 1 or 2 points, and they didn't call a timeout. I mean, as a coach, you kind of don't want the defense to set in. You get what I'm saying? But it's like they were just scrambling on those plays, that they ran at the end of the game. Like he can learn from the previous game from when they were down and they didn't call a timeout, and then he did the same thing again in back-to-back games. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he is a rookie coaching, and rookie coaches are going to make mistakes. But
he's a first year coach.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's a first year coach.
First year head coach, probably the inexperienced coach. But let me. I mean, okay, if they do decide to fire him, who's coming in? Is Brad Stevens coming back down to the coaching? Is he going to do both jobs like a Pat Riley did? Back when he chased Van Gundy out of there to get that last ring with Wade and Shaq. Is Brad Stevens gonna come in and coach for like a year or two, try to find somebody else? In the meantime, you know what I mean?
They may call on an old friend. You know who that old friend is? He's available right now.
Oh,
Doc.
Oh, Doc? Oh, God. I don't know. Doc got too much stink on him for me. I think that would be disastrous because
they would have set him there.
You got the whole like everybody's getting young and innovative, man. They like the young coaches thing now, man.
That's a good call.
Udoka's like what, 46? Yeah, he's much younger than Nia Long. Udoka's like 44. He's not too much older than us.
Who? Udoka? Oh.
Udoka.
Oh, okay.
Udoka's in his mid-40s, late.
No. Oh, Udoka. Oh. What's his name?
Everybody.
What's his name? Missoula's like 34 years old. You heard?
Yeah, Missoula's 34. Yeah, he was just a college. See, that's the thing. He's a college hotshot, and maybe they just need to, I don't know, maybe they just need to work on something. Maybe they just need to kind of tutor him. I mean, because they said he was like the next big thing. You know what I mean? So he might not be ready for this stage yet, but he might, get another little bit more experience. You don't want to let a guy like him go, and next thing you know, he's taking somebody like Minnesota or something to the championship. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Like somebody, Yeah, that's everybody's wanting the young hot prospects, man. Because you never know. I think Darvin Ham was a pretty good coach. I know he's in the 50s right now.
Yo, somebody said, "Yo, Chin." He said the
Julius
Celtics
Randle, Emmanuel quickly.
Yeah, okay. For who?
Listen, y'all talk. We'll talk. You want to give up Brown? We'll do that right now.
For who? For Jaylen Brown? Would you make that? Would you make that trade?
Jaylen Brown for who?
For Brown, I'd do that straight up.
He said
Jaylen Brown for who?
For Julius Randle and Emmanuel quickly.
For Brown, straight up. Let's go. I'm always ready to talk business.
So you'll make that trade?
I make it. Yeah. Oh yeah. As much as I hate to see quickly go, and I still got use for Randall. We was talking about when I make a trade, I'm always thinking about what else I'm gonna do with the roster, right? So if you trade Randall now Obi's your guy, and Obi has defense, but Obi what he can be offensively, he can fly. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a 2-guard, or it don't even matter who between him and RJ, who the 2-guard is. You put them next to Brunson, but now you got a real like 4 or 5 scorers. Then you figure out what your bench is. I mean, you can go to the next level. I think I've always thought Brown was that dude. When he got drafted, I called him the next T-Mac. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I thought not exactly the scorer T-Mac is, but a lot of T-Mac in his game. And you know, whatever's going on, I haven't even caught much of this Heat series, but whatever's going on here, for whatever reason they're getting shut down, or whatever, Heat is kind of phasing them out. Listen, I'm not caught too much up into that. I think those two are two of the best players in the league, especially I think they're two of the top 10 players in the league for sure. Maybe Brown is more like top 15, but I think they're the truth. So to get one of them, hey, we step up a level right there.
I don't think they should trade. I think they should keep them together. I know there's like back and forth and saying that they don't work together. They can work together, man. I don't think.
Of course they can.
Yeah, they can. You see that they can work together. What I really think is that
they got to the finals. I thought they could have won last year.
Yeah, they really need like a prototypical point guard. Like if they could fuck around and get CP3 there. He could play like the Jason Kidd role, and he could just play like, minutes a game, and he could orchestrate the offense and make sure guys are getting into their spots. He'll be a way better. He don't gotta do anything. So he's older now, but I think he'll be a good addition. He will actually, even if they say they do is a sign him, right? He will probably play small ball. You can play Chris Paul, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Smart, then you can probably go off of that five. I know it's just
go in.
Huh?
What is this? Fantasy basketball? What is this? Fantasy?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just telling you what.
What with the trading y'all talk about?
This is something that. No, I'm just talking about what the Celtics need. They need like a, point guard on that. Somebody that could.
Yeah, they need the floor general back. I mean, remember they had Rozier and they let him go. Then they came with Kemba, but Kemba didn't really work out because of the defensive issues. And then they decided, we'll just play Smart at the one and just kind of work that out, run the ball, run more playmaking through Jaylen Brown. But I think they need a floor general. I agree with that. And Brogdon can do that, but they want him in the 6-man role.
So would you do this now? Would you trade Trae Young for Jaylen Brown? Right.
No.
You wouldn't do that.
No. Hell no.
They would need Trae Young on that team with Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to get him, but I think again,
on the same team.
I think he needs the ball too much. I think he needs the ball too much. Yeah, that would be a great scoring punch.
I don't think he needs the ball too much. I think that he's holding the ball a lot in Atlanta because there's no other real options over there. So he has to. He is their offense. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to shoot in order to get other people.
One issue there though. Yeah, offensively it would be pretty. Offensively it would be smooth, but then you got to hide him on defense, and now you got a smaller team because I'm assuming you're playing Tatum at the 4 and JB at the 3.
Right.
So now Smart is your 2, and now what's the name's your 1. So you got to hide him on defense more.
No, I'm going off. They probably gonna have to get rid of Smart. So I say Young at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the Jaylen Brown or Tatum at the 2, either or 2, 3. And Smart I have to be traded.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they're not. I mean,
okay, I got you.
They're not giving that up. They're not giving. They're not just gonna get Boston. Atlanta is just not gonna give Trae away just like that.
Of course not. But I'm just saying, they wouldn't do that. But that if they traded Jaylen Brown for Trae Young, that's not going anywhere either. You know what I'm saying? Like unless they get
It's going
some,
nowhere. You're
uh,
taking a step back, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You're
it'd be
taking a
taking
major
a step
step back.
back. Yeah, it'd be taking a
You get
step back.
Yeah, because
you get a floor jump. You do get
he's smaller, no defense.
No defense, yeah. No defense. The defense is nowhere near like Jaylen Brown. And they average around the same amount of points. Matter of fact, no, I think Trey Young averaged more than it. But still, I'll take Jaylen Brown over Trey Young right now as a better player. Talent wise, though,
Yeah,
Trey Young
yeah.
is a
So that's
late
like
check talent.
a see reason why I would do if I'm Boston. See, of course, I got to convince Boston. Quickly is a two-way guard that you don't know. You can put him in. You could start him. Actually, he wants to start. Then with Randall, now you could put Tatum at the 3. You gotta listen. Again, we can never talk about Randall like he's a bum. He's all NBA, right? So now you got a guy that's going to play every night. Tatum is now is your official 3. That's between the Time Lord and what's the name? They in the center rotation. You might even want to get another big 7-footer to put in that center rotation too. I don't know, between that, you still, you know what I mean? Like that's why it would be a good deal, And this, if we gotta send a pick or whatever, or send whatever, I would do it because again, for me as a Knicks fan, Jaylen Brown kind of, is that wing that we need, right? And again, we get to let Obi ascend into the starting role. I think Obi has a lot of potential. Defensively, he needs work, of course, but I was saying from the last conversation, we can hide bad defenders with a scheme. Like nobody believes that, but it's true. You can hide bad defenders with a good scheme, as long as you coach it up. Everybody knows where they need to be, and you got enough perimeter botherers, and then your backline defense. You know what I'm saying? You can play good defense, play middle of the pack defense at least. You know what I'm saying? But now offensively, you got a guy that can go out there and get 26, 27 next to Brunson, who's going to give you his 24, 25. You know what I mean? RJ is your third option,
Yeah, but Obi is not as skilled as Randall. You get what I'm saying? That's something that he has to work.
No, of course not. He's not.
You know what I mean? So you're gonna.
He's not. But the thing is, we don't know what he can be because he don't play enough, and he's never going to play enough until Randall's gone.
So you think they may trade him?
He gives you those flashes of that Amari.
Right.
He gives you that flashes of a little bit like a 2-inch shorter Amari. He gives you those flashes. Right. But you see him every time he only got to start 4 games, had 30-something points that one against the Pacers, right? So he's just and again, his game is less involved than Randall. He don't need 7 dribbles. He needs like maybe 1 or 2 dribbles and an explosion to the basket. You're gonna get him some lobs. You're gonna get him some. You know what I mean? That's the Obi thing, and so it's a different look. But see, you got to what you're getting with Jaylen Brown. You're getting a guy that at the end of games, and we've always heard he wanted to be the man. See, the only reason Celtics are gonna make that deal is because the only reason they would consider it is they don't want to go into the luxury tax. Remember, once you go into the luxury tax, you're spending $4 for every one. So every million is $4 million. So if you $10 million into the luxury, that's $40 million. That's a big check to write. You know what I'm saying? If you $20 million into the luxury tax, it's $80 million.
And another thing is that he's old. Being that he made All NBA, I think his contract is what he's eligible to make like what close to $300 million.
Yeah,
or $62 million. So and then we have both of them made All NBA.
So that's talking about it's a money thing, and you're
talking about over.
Yeah, it's a money thing. It's definitely a money thing.
Yeah, you're talking about over $500 million.
Yeah, it's definitely a money thing. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, so you got to look at That's why I'm saying contracts matter. A lot of fans they don't really look at the contracts and what it means. You know what I'm saying? That's why Randall got a really good contract for his production. No, say what you want about him being a bum, and not his contract for his production is really good because all NBA players make 40. Right? That's at least 40. That's the minimum. and he makes 27. That's 13 million you saving. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to luxury tax situation. Then you get Quickly, who has another year. He only makes 4 million. You talking about the second runner up? You know, the runner up for sixth man of the year, and a guy that show you he can play two. He can play both ways. Again, he could be your point guard. So you got, you know what I'm saying? You saying goodbye to Brown, but you solving a point guard issue. You put another good point guard, a two-way guard at that. You put him next to Smart. Oh, you might now Smart doesn't ain't got to guard everybody by himself. You know what I mean? Then you get Randall with Tatum out in the front court in your center rotation. Now you're different, but that might work. You know what I'm saying? You get two good players for one great player. Sometimes that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Every time because people will just say trade for this guy, and you always got to think why the other team is going to make that trade. What's it going to do for them? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I just think it's emotional.
You know, those of us that play fantasy basketball, huh?
I just think just coming off that loss in the second round and with the way we played that series, of course the emotions are running high, and they like, yo, get rid of Randall, get him the fuck out of town. They'll trade him. You can't just trade him just for anybody. You have to get equal value. You're gonna have to get equal value. You can't just trade him.
See, to me, it's not. It's not getting rid of Randall. It's trading him for somebody I really want. That's my thing, right? I ain't giving away Randall for nothing. See, people will sit there, I'm like, okay, you're gonna get rid of him for a player that's worse, right? Or a player that got his own issues. Don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you traded him for somebody like Brown, okay, well, listen, I can do that. For me, it's all business. Like I said, the only one I feel is untouchable right now is Brunson and maybe Josh Hart. We got to resign Josh Hart anyway. You know what I mean? So for me, it's all business. I would trade Mitch Robinson for Turner if Pacers willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all business for me.
Yeah,
it's not an emotional thing. Listen, I always appreciate the players for doing what they did, but if we got to get better, we got to get better. You know, listen, bro, I'm 44 now. I got to see that. I got to see that parade before I die, man. Real talk. I done been to Giants parades. I done been to Yankee parade. I got to see that Knicks parade, bro. For real. Before I die, I got to go. Yo, I did not think I'd be in my 40s and still didn't get that parade, man, for the Knicks. It's crazy.
Ain't close in 99. Really 94. 94 was, we went to game 7.
94, I was ready, man. We were supposed to have a bunch. The Rangers turned out to be the only team that won. The Yankees was going to win, right? The Yankees on their way to win. The Knicks was a John Starks 3 in that game 6 that Hakeem blocked. Man, Hakeem is one of the ghosts, man, for real. Because honestly, we ran that pick and roll on him with Ewing, and Hakeem was way out of position, and he came over and blocked it. John Starks had a wide open look, man, wide open look, and that would have won the shot chip right there.
Oh man, that would.
And we all know what happened in Game 7.
Don't remind us. But moving on to Jimmy Butler, man, where do you rank him? Like Jimmy Butler, is he?
I gotta put him in my top 10, bro.
Yeah.
I put him in my top 10. And who did I move out? I don't know.
But all time now.
Oh, all time?
Jimmy Butler, I mean, I think he's a great player, right? But do you think, like, right now, let's say if he, was to make it to the finals, even let's say they do lose, win or lose, you think he's a Hall of Famer or no?
Yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, sure.
First
definitely Hall of Famer. Big time overachiever. Remember, big time overachiever. Big time.
First ballot.
Like he remember, he was the last pick of the first round.
Right. It's crazy how like he would get into the Hall of Fame over D Rose, and D Rose won like an MVP, and even though his career was railroaded by injuries, but just think about how far they came.
Yeah.
You don't think? Hold up. You don't think D Rose gonna make it to the Hall of Fame?
It's gonna be tough.
I think he's gonna.
He had my vote, bro. I'll be real. He had my.
It's
He
going to
have
be
my
tough.
vote for real.
I mean, he only had like
The youngest ever MVP.
yeah, but
The
you got to think
youngest
about all the
MVP.
other accolades he had. You know what I mean? You could be the
The
youngest.
youngest ever. He got all NBA. He got all stars. He got all stars. He good college player. Yeah, he should get in there. I'm not saying first ballot, but he should get in there.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know. I
I
feel
look
like
at this way: if Calvin Murphy's in it, no
What
disrespect to
MVP?
Calvin
What
Murphy.
MVP? What MVP has never made the Hall of Fame, yo? I feel like every MVP has made the
I
Hall
don't
of
think there
Fame.
is one.
yeah, but I just
How?
think like his situation
I don't
is
think there is one.
odd because remember he got injured. He was injured for a long time. You get what I'm saying? He was never the same after the injury. Maybe he had like one good season. A few years after the injury when he hit
You
that.
want a precedent?
Huh?
You want a precedent? You want a precedent? Grant Hill.
He
Grant
didn't
Hill.
win an
And
MVP
you know,
though.
and you know, and
He
I
never
know
won
Grant
an
Hill
MVP.
had six or seven good great seasons. I know he did, but then it was after the ankle thing and the botched surgery and all that. What put Grant Hill in is he played all until he was 40, right? And then he had that one season when he averaged 20, right? Like with Phoenix, he averaged 20 points a game that one season. So, a lot of goodwill, all that. Listen, everybody loves Grant Hill, right? Nobody has ever had a bad thing to say about Grant Hill. Like, that dude is like one of the most perfect human beings, bro. Like, for real. Him and Tamia got the perfect marriage. So all that imagery, you know what I'm saying, helped him get in there. Because, he had 6 times, and then it was a struggle. Like, he missed a couple of seasons, and then he was a role player, but he then got to 20 points a game. That one year, the year he almost got 6-man with the Knicks, it was almost like, a good, he's been a good ambassador, good guy in the locker room. So they're going to love that, and they're going to remember what he was. I'm
Right.
just saying, because there's a lot of, I'm looking at Hall of Fame, there's a lot of guys that were like, I'm not saying they were bad, but if you look at the numbers, like, I mean, they were just because they meant something to one franchise, like a Calvin Murphy, right? I mean, his numbers was like 14 and 8 or 14 and 9 or something like that. Like, it wasn't like he was a 29 point a game scorer. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So there's some guys in there that would they meant so much to a certain franchise or whatever. They wind up getting that goodwill vote.
Right.
So, yeah, he got a shot.
I mean, I guess
he got a shot. And like when he came back and was like the new off the bench role.
He only made All NBA team once, so he's only been a 3-time All Star. He got Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's pretty much it. MVP, 3-time All NBA. No, sorry, He made the All Star 3 times, All NBA once, and NBA
Give me the
Rookie of the Year. I mean,
so give me the numbers after 2012, after like at 2013, 20. I know he didn't play 2013. He came back 2014, right? At some point.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me just check. Stats after. So in 2014, he came back. And I think he averages like close to 18 points per game, 17 and a half points per game. Like,
that's not bad, bro. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad.
I know the game plays are low. I know he didn't play a lot of games, but he was representative. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of representative. Then those couple seasons with New York, he wasn't bad at all. Then I forget when we traded him away for. He was decent player post injury. He was a good pretty player post injury.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for me. I think he would have got in. He would have been a lock automatically if it wasn't for his injuries. It's going to be tough. I mean,
it's just the fact that everybody think he's a good guy.
Huh? What you said?
But if was talking about Butler, right? Where
Yeah.
like when you think he's probably top 50. He's probably top 50 all time.
Would you take AD off?
I
Like,
would
who would
put
you
him in my
take
top
off?
50. Again,
The thing
it
with
was in the top 50. There's a lot of guys in the top 50, especially that first 50 that I don't think belong. Right? So I'm not going to say Scottie Pippen because I think Scottie Pippen is one of them guys that get higher than he should be because he was a. But now I'm not going to say him. Honestly, yo, for Dominique to not be in that first 50 was a joke. Remember how Dominique? Well, they didn't put Dominique in the first 50 anniversary thing. Dominique was
Yeah, he
problem.
definitely should have been there.
Him not being in that top 50 was a
They
joke.
even and Shaq was in there, right?
Shaq was in there, and he was only 5 seasons in, I believe. Oh no, maybe he wasn't. I can't remember. But if you talk, listen, he's better than the Lenny Wilkins of the world. No disrespect to his Brooklyn boy. He's better than Lenny Wilkins in them of the world, right? Jimmy, you talking about Jimmy? He's better. I'm not gonna say Steve Nash. Well, you know what? Hell, yes, he is better than Steve Nash. He's better than Steve Nash, bro. I don't care about them 2 MVPs. And no disrespect to Nash. Nash is one of the greatest, but did Nash take the team to the finals? Jimmy will on the verge of doing it twice. You know what I'm saying? And there's no one. Trust me, Amari is a lot better than Bam Adebayo.
You think Amari?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I look at
Amari a healthy Amari. I'll take a healthy.
I mean, Amari. And he had him when he was beast mode healthy Amari. He did have him, before the knee injuries. So I think he's better than Steve Nash. No disrespect to Nash. Steve Nash wound up in the right system. Jimmy, his talent, he became a system. I mean, if you look at him what he is defensively and what Nash was not defensively, and this Nash got 10,000 assists, the numbers piled up. But Jimmy is a miss everything, and he took Miami team to the finals twice. Whether they win or not, I don't think they're gonna win. Miami's met this. Miami's going. You go see. It's just too. Unless Bam can do his little dirty elbow and kind of get in under Joker's skin, I don't see Miami winning. It'll be Nuggets in 5 or 6. And listen, and they could take them to 6 games, and I'll give Jimmy a lot of credit for that. But Jimmy is definitely he's in the top 50. Again, he's an overachiever, man. Jimmy was the last pick of the first round. He was the last pick of the first round, so to be where he is now,
Okay. So
I'm gonna end it on. Sprewell was one of my favorite players, and I call him this era Sprewell.
Right. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, definitely. He's definitely like us. I always said that. He does remind me of a Sprewell.
Yeah, and with the playmaker, he playmakes like Sprewell never could. So he's like Sprewell 2.0, a new improved version. So it's Sprewell again. Sprewell for one for the choke distance.
That's one thing about
the way he went out. Sprewell would possibly be a ball player.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about Jimmy. Like to your point, it's just like he goes to his right hand a lot. That's all he does. You know what he's doing. And it just seems like to me, it's just like, yo, you guys don't try to make
still can't stop.
And yeah, even if they try to make him go left, you still can't stop because he got a nice turnaround jumper. For him to not be like, and he's not even as skilled as say like one of like the premier guards out there, but and he still get a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give him his credit for a guy that like, who's not as skilled as like a Jason Tatum or like, a Devin Booker, you know what I'm saying, or Kobe, one of the real skilled point guards. Yo, he's great.
A very good utility guy. Remember, he was basically supposed to be the guy scrap up guy off the bench before Rose and them got hurt. He was supposed to be the scrap up guy off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So he wound up being the man, and then they moved on for him. Remember, he was traded for Zach LaVine. That's how he wound up in Minnesota. Then Minnesota said, "Nah, he wound up back in Philly." Again, Philly made the choice of Tobias Harris essentially over him because they both were free agents that year. And they went Harris over Butler. And so Butler, this is 2019, right?
Right.
And Butler was like, but Miami got him as a steal, and he's been a great Miami Heat for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, man. Definitely gotta give that man his due. Hopefully,
Yeah, so
you think they win tomorrow? You think they win tomorrow?
I would think Boston would kind of show up just to, but it could happen like it did tonight. You know what I mean? Where they did give their best effort, but Miami is just on theirs. I wouldn't think they would want to get swept by the AC. Like that would leave a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I think Boston might get one of them vintage games from the Big Two, right? They might get Tatum getting 35 and Brown getting 28 or something like that and win. But and maybe it goes, and then maybe I wouldn't see after that. I wouldn't see them get knocked out from Boston, but they will not get past 6. I don't think they will. It's too much. It's too much.
Do you think now?
So it's either Miami wins tomorrow or Miami wins the 6.
So okay, so you think it? So you still think that? Okay, so you still think that even if they take it back to Boston, they win tomorrow. Take it back to Boston. They lose 2 games in a row. They're not losing another game.
Because Spo was gonna. Remember what I was saying about Spo the last one. Spo was going. He's gonna make too many adjustments to get beat 3 games in a row. That's the thing. Like, and I had hope because we almost did it. We almost did it with the Knicks, but I had hope. But he makes too many good adjustments to get beat 3 games in a row. That's when I kind of knew once we went down 3-1, it was a wrap for us. I knew we would come back home and fight, which we did. We fought in game 6. He just made them adjustments. You see what I'm saying? Bo was the adjustment king, in my opinion. He's definitely. So that's what I'm saying. You would think Boston had the better team from the beginning, but it's going to be too much to win 4 straight. No, they're not going to be they're not. Well, it's crazy, right? Because who was the first team in baseball to do it?
Oh yeah, the Red Sox.
I know we got Yankee fans in the chat, but yeah. So I mean, it would be crazy, right? It's crazy things have happened. But they were saying that they were all that talk about. I said, no, listen. LeBron can play like Jordan. He could literally play like Jordan, which he kind of did tonight. He ran out of gas, but Denver was too good of a team to get 4 in a row. No way. 2 in Denver, 2? Hell no. 2 in Denver, 2. But Boston, you would think of the better team from the beginning. Here's their problem. Again, there's something missing there. There's something missing there. Something is missing out of that. Because last year, I remember last year, what's crazy. This is why, as a Knicks fan, I've always been like, listen, we're closer than you think. Last year, Boston was at mid-season, they was 21-20, and we were 20-21. And we had played Boston 4 games, right? We played them opening night, we beat them in overtime. Remember? Then we played them again. Then we played them 2 Saturdays in a row. And we missed our we had the COVID issue, right? This was last year. We still had the COVID issues. And they won. So we were 2-2 right there at the same point. But then Boston ramped up their defense. They made a couple of roster moves, right? Made a couple of roster changes, rotation changes, and their defense they were the best defensive team in the second half of the season, right? And they want to get to the finals. Somehow that defense is not the same, right? I know Robert Williams was hurt. He's a big part of their defense and all that. But something that they had last year is missing this year. And I think, honestly, if they had a better point guard, they would have beat Golden State last year. I really do.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
As a Knicks fan, I'm like, yo, we was right with Boston last year, man. We were right with them at midseason, and they took off defense.
Yeah, man. And you got to credit.
They took off defense.
That's why that credit you made. You got to credit.
Yeah, Udoka was Mm-hmm. So I mean, but something is missing. So that's why I don't think they will come back. I think it's possible, but you talking about like something. ESPN said they got a 63% chance to win the series or something. Whatever these little stat nerds be doing, I don't like. I can't see you. You're not gonna beat a team like Miami 4 straight games. They're not 63% chance of that happening. Hell no.
Yeah, it was hard for me to make a
Hell no.
prediction
To
on
win
that.
it.
It was,
Yeah, I mean,
last but
going.
not least, man.
It's going.
Last but not least, before we get out of here, we got the news earlier today. One of my favorite players of all time, the guard Melo, first ballot Hall of Fame, automatic,
Okay.
automatic.
Automatic.
I don't care what anybody says.
I automatic, man. Melo, stay mellow, man. I like Melo. Melo's a good family, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen. So what's the question? I know you because I got a lot to say on it. I know I'm gonna have a lot to say on
Go ahead. You just shit out.
What's the legacy? What's the legacy?
Yeah. You think they should retire?
Listen, man, Melo's one of the. I think the Knicks should. I think because we need somebody from this era. Number one, I think we need a symbol of, hey, listen, it didn't work out. Is I know the reasons it didn't work out. I could go all day about the reasons it didn't work out. The Knicks fans probably gonna kill some of them, especially the haters. First thing listen, a couple of guys come in, throw the Lynn stuff in, man. I mean, listen, man, that was so overblown. That was the media went where it went and all that. Melo should be retired by the Knicks. Just because I understand considering what happened. Look, mind you, a scoring title. I know Bernard King did it too, and he didn't get 30 retired. I understand that. But Bernard King was here for 3.5 seasons, 3-4 seasons before he got hurt. We dropped the bag letting him go, right? If we had ACL surgery, back then they thought ACL was the end of your career. But honestly, all those players got Bernard King to thank for why ACL is not the end of your career. Like, I guess, James Andrews and these guys did the whole, they did the whole knee reconstruction thing. But the Knicks gave up on him. We needed that second guy next to Patrick Ewing. I guess we didn't want to pay him, whatever. But Melo played 7 seasons. He gave it his all. The problems with the Knicks was not his fault, honestly. Look, remember, we didn't draft Jimmy. Say again?
He didn't duck the smoke. He wanted to play.
Yeah, he wanted to smoke. He wanted to smoke. And that's what y'all got to understand, Knicks fans, bro. He wanted to smoke. Now, y'all could say he forced his way here. Got to remember, the lockout in Brooklyn. The lockout in Brooklyn was the problem. Melo didn't know whether we was even going to have a season the next year. So he signed his deal he threatened to sign his deal with Denver because it's like, yo, what if we locked out and I don't get a deal? And what if we lock out and I can only sign 3 or 4 year deals? Nobody knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, he wanted money. Money isn't more important. Bro, what do they play for, man? I can't stand that whole era. And look at, like I said, when we talk about contracts now, are you turning down $275 million to go take $100 million and try to win a ring? There's no guarantee of that ring. You see what I'm saying? Like the Knicks, again, we could have, while Melo was here, and this is the thing, we could have drafted an All-NBA team. We could have drafted Butler. We could have drafted Rudy. We could have drafted the Joker. We could have drafted Jamal Murray. Well, Jamal Murray was a Knick trade swap. We could have found a way to get back in that first round or something. We could have drafted Donovan Mitchell. And it's somebody I'm missing. We wound up drafting KP in 2015, but we could have drafted a whole NBA squad. If we just hit on 2 of those picks around him, how did the Knicks? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I understand the reason why
the Donovan Mitchell one was made.
Donovan Mitchell, that's on Phil.
That's definitely on Phil.
At the end of Melo Tuck, remember because we still have Phil there.
Yeah, because he
got traded after. Remember, the next guys traded. Yeah, so that was Phil. The Donovan Mitchell thing was Phil's last stand, And did we play another season? Or he got traded before the next guys came in. But he still, again, you never know, man. You never know. Again, Rudy. I screamed for Rudy, and we was cheering the Tim Hardaway pick, and I'm like, all right, Tim Hardaway is a name, but Rudy is going to be that guy. It's going to be a defensive player of the year type player, and we needed him for coming into 2014 because Tyson Chandler broke his leg against the Charlotte Hornets that year. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yep, and it's like then we had to go to Bargnani at center. Remember, we wound up making the Bargnani trade just to give Melo a second scorer, and then he wound up having to be center. We were a defensive-oriented team with Woodson, and so not having Rudy could have been put in. That would have been Rudy's rookie year. He'd have been put in. Maybe he would have did a decent enough job to have that season not go the way it went. Because if you remember, once we hired Phil, we finished that season 18-6. So we struggled, like when Tyson came back, we struggled. We were not defending. There was a lot going on. You see what I'm saying? So
Raymond Felton got caught with
again. I mean, it was so many things that happened that were not his fault, and he got blamed for. Bro, Melo was to me, he was a great Nick. I'm not calling him a top. He might have been a top 10 Nick. It depends. I got to look at the history. But he was a representative of the franchise, man. And all time as a player, just a walking bucket, bro. Guy was a nightmare to guard. I mean, defensively, listen, Melo was never a bad defender. He was a lazy defender. There's a difference, right? And you had to motivate him on that side. Like there's guys that can't play defense because they got no tools, and there's guys that are lazy. Melo was lazy. Let's be real. So I'll give you that.
Defense,
but,
I don't think like this. I think like he wasn't good on getting back on defense like that. Like say for instance, he'll take
he was cherry picking.
Like he'll one thing about him is that he'll go for the double team a lot and leave his man open. Like for instance, like let's say his man was PJ Tucker or Andre Roberson. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In just our luck, Andre Roberson would hit like 2 threes in a row. Or even like PJ Tucker. This is like early PJ Tucker, not like Tucker that good 3-point corner shooter right now, But he'll sacrifice that and then leave his man open. He's always doing that. Like, okay, you know what? He'll help out, but then he'll leave his man open. That was like one of his Achilles heels right there.
Well, yeah, listen, the Hornets game, bro. That Hornets game when he went got the Garden record back from Kobe, right? That was I mean, y'all might think that's important. It is. I mean, we can't have Kobe holding the Garden record. We already had Jordan 55s and all that. But he was so immaculate in that game, and you could just see the best of Melo at certain times, man. Like I said, the Knicks kind of failed by not making the right moves around him, and but he was never a LeBron guy. Like, yo, go get me this guy. He was never that type of dude. He just put his trust in the man. Remember, we had when Donnie Walsh traded for him. Then we wound up having before Melo left, with Phil, we wound up having 4 or 5 different GMs in his 7 years here. You can't win like that.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know what I mean?
Stable culture. We didn't have.
And honestly, that's the other thing. I think Donnie Walsh is overrated. I think Donnie Walsh is the most overrated GM Knicks ever had, bro. Because all he did was clean up the cap, and he traded draft picks to do it. For real. Donnie Walsh, for me, should have never hired Mike D'Antoni. He should have hired Mark Jackson back then. We could see how Mark Jackson turned around the Golden State Warriors, whether y'all want to give him credit for it or not. Golden State Warriors never played defense. He had that team defended. With young State playing stuff. He also gave them their confidence, and then Carter took it to the next level. Donnie Walsh made a lot of bad moves. So our roster was trash and this, that, but we still could have did things to make that thing work. We made bad moves. We should never amnesty Chauncey Billups.
Right. I think the year after we made the second round, we should have never got rid of that team. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, right.
They should have never fired. They should have never hired Phil Jackson. You know, because we only missed the game by one. Missed the playoffs by like one game. We missed the playoffs by one game, and a lot of those games this year, we were losing games by like I think less than like 3 points. So it wasn't like we weren't in the game. We were in the games, and you got to think about that year. Tyson Chandler missed like 20 games. J.R. Smith, I think he had missed some games through the I don't know. I think it was through.
Yeah, J.R. Smith started playing like a bum after he elbowed Jason Terry in that Boston series. Like all of a sudden he couldn't play no more. J.R. Smith, that was his best season. We lost. Remember what happened that year? We lost all the old guys retired, right? Rasheed Wallace, Jason Kidd, they all retired, but they put so much of that veteran leadership into the squad, and we didn't get those type of guys back. And then we made the Bargnani trade, and we didn't give up much, right? We gave up. Who did we give up for Bargnani?
Oh, we gave up.
I can't even remember.
I forgot who we gave. We gave up
the first round pick. I remember.
We gave up a draft pick though, because I remember everybody was cracking us about that shit. I know we gave up.
Yeah, the first round pick. That's what happened, right? The first round pick we gave up for Bargnani wound up going to Toronto. Toronto had to swap with Denver, but Denver took Murray, and then Toronto took Jakob Poeltl. So it wasn't the Melo trade that cost us Murray. It was the fact that it was a swap, but we traded that for Bargnani, and Bargnani didn't work out. But Jakob Poeltl turned out to be because they got him back in Toronto. He wanted to be a decent player, but he wouldn't have been the player we needed. We would have needed a Murray at that point, towards 2016 or 2015. One of them.
This is the downfalls of the Knicks.
But bro, you know, that's what I'm saying. But you know what it is, bro? You know what it is, T? It's all relative because all of those bad moves led to the team being in a bad situation when Melo got here. And again, had we made the right picks when Melo was here, or the right move to get him because Amari's knee was on borrowed time, right? Is that Melo's fault? No. Then Lynn got listen. I don't want to offend the Lynn fans, but Lynn got full of himself. Lynn got full of himself, right? Lynn got full of himself. Let's be real, because Lynn was not the guy you were going to build a team around. Stop it. He was the guy that was going to be the point guard next to stars like Melo and Amari. Like, why? What do people act like? Well, Melo hated on Lynn. No. You know what hated on Lynn? The fact that the damn San Antonio Spurs figured out he can only go right. The fact that the Dallas, who were defending champions, figured out he can only go right. And then what's the name made him look like an amateur. Miami made him look like an amateur. That's what I'm saying. So at that point, Melo missed. No, the fact that we realized that Lynn was not that guy. And once we put Woodson in, okay, well, Woodson said, listen, Lynn, you're the point guard. You're still starting, but your job is to feed these guys, the big guys. And then we started winning again. Then Lynn tore his meniscus. See, that's what happened. And then they were like, well, Melo said during the Olympics, that contract was crazy. He was hating on his contract. Yeah, you went back and got the poison pill from Houston, right? You went back and got the poison pill from Houston. Dolan said, he's going to do that? Okay, so we're not going to sign him. Boom. You go to Houston, and then Houston trades for James Harden. See, people don't realize that, right? After that, there was no more Lynn going to be the star of a team no more because Houston, obviously Harden is better. And next thing you know, by the end of that season with Houston, Patrick Beverly supplanted him in the starting lineup. So where's this Melo hate? Where's the, no. And Melo actually in the offseason said, he invited Lynn to the house with JR, with Chandler, with all of his house out in LA. And he said, what we gonna do? What we gonna do about getting to Miami next year? That's what he said. And Lynn was all on this joint. So by the time Melo goes for the Olympics, Lynn is already doing his negotiations, and he went on Houston. Okay, well, you went to Houston, played 2 years, wound up being a backup there. Next thing you know, Houston trades you to the Lakers, and Kobe was riding Lynn like a horse, man. See, so this is what I'm saying. Like, Melo is so much for that, but it's like, yo, then he came back next year, had an MVP caliber year.
Yeah, he
you know what
did.
I mean? And it is what it is.
Top 5 scorer all time.
The media hates on Melo. Huh?
Do you think a top 5 scorer all time? Like, who's your top
as
5
far as scoring game?
Yeah,
top 5 scorer. Yeah. Scoring tools is Jordan. Listen, number 1 is Jordan. Number 2 is and I go by history. They said Elgin Baylor was that dude. He might be.
I'm just going off the eye test, off of who you saw. Not just
so top 5 I've ever seen. Yes. Top 5 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Should we do it like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because KD is so effortless. Jordan was just the perfect weapon. Iverson is gotta be mentioned somewhere in there.
Yeah, so I got Iverson, Melo,
and Curry.
Ooh, I know you like the sound of that.
Steph gotta be there too.
Yo, Dot, I know you like the sound of that.
Steph is in what?
Top 5 scorer.
Damn, I'm. You could put him up there.
It's debatable.
You can put him up there. We all know he's the best shooter of all time. So,
see, when it comes, it's almost when we have this discussion, you gotta take the bigs out of it, right? Right, the big men, right, who are up there, Wilt and all them. You kind of got to take them out of it because they have post players. That's another category, I think. Right, so you talking for Malone? Malone got to be mentioned too. I know everybody hates Malone at this point, but but he was just a, the pick and roll and the, elbow jumper and all that. But tools wise, he's not seeing a Melo, right? Barkley was a great all around scorer too, and O'Neal as well. But Melo is definitely top 5 scorer. Bro.
My top 5 would be My top five scorers would be Kobe, Mike, KD.
Kobe.
Damn. KD, Mike, Kobe. Damn. You say we not including no big man?
Nah. I mean, I wouldn't.
Akeem is the best big man scorer, I believe, right? But
I'll say
again, he's not shooting threes, right?
We gotta put Abdul-Jabbar in there, definitely. Gotta put Abdul-Jabbar in there.
Well, I'm talking about like pure scorers, like guys that can just get it anywhere on the court.
Okay, KD, Mike, Kobe, Tracy,
Melo. Or you could me, I would take it's either or. Like you can either, and it's all preference. You can go Tracy or you can go Iverson. You know what I mean? You already know those three are a lot. You already know KD.
I'm taking Tracy over Iverson. You got 6'8", could shoot the three, could dunk, could post up. He got really no weakness. He could shoot it all over the place, and he could post up, and he got a handle. And he's 6'8", and he could post up.
There's other guys you got to consider. Like Iceman, Alex English, Matt Pistol Pete, right? But I think
They're before my time, champ. They're before my time.
I know Melo in your top 5.
Oh, you already know that. That's a rhetorical question right there. You know, he's definitely
Melo a bucket.
Get it. He could get it anywhere on the court. Anywhere. It's not even close. You know what I mean? He could score with the best of them. He could definitely score. But yo, man, it's good rapping with y'all, bro.
Word, you know that.
Oh wait.
What time you going? What time you going live tomorrow,
right.
bro?
I grabbed the breakfast. So I'm in Brazil. I'm like a timeline ahead of y'all, right? Y'all in New York. I'm in a timeline ahead of y'all. So my breakfast, I go to breakfast about 10 o'clock locally. So usually I come in right after breakfast. I've already been about 10:30.
Okay.
Keep the phone charger because I gotta give some salutations to the Lakers. Right? I gotta give some salutations to the Lakers and probably talk about this going forward. And listen, man, I'm gonna be very respectful of LeBron. I appreciated that he came out and really tried, but one thing I don't like is that you got to dump on AD to do it. Like AD, it wasn't like he was like he wasn't dominant. And see, I was gonna say that's the issue that I got with that team. Is why can't them two be dominant at the same time? It's just you know what I'm saying? Like it's very weird. Like Shaq and Kobe could be dominant in the same game. These guys can't for some reason. And it's not, you know what, honestly seeing it tonight, it's not one guy's fault or the other, because even LeBron was trying to get him to rock directly, but it is some sort of a disconnect. I don't know. Like to me, if I was AD, I would have never wanted to play with LeBron too, because honestly, no matter how good he's gonna play, LeBron was gonna get all the credit. But yeah, I'm gonna come on and holler about that and just holler about what I saw. Like the fact that Denver is just the truth and Joker. I'm a big Joker fan. Guys that play like that, bro. Like as soon as I started seeing Joker, I was like, oh, this that dude. This that dude. And all he got to do is get in shape. And and that's pretty much what he had to do. But he is prototypical basketball, bro.
I mean, he's in shape. I mean, he looked like he's not in shape, but he really is in shape.
I'm telling you, I saw Brooklyn. I saw him. I had courtside when I saw Brooklyn play them, and I'm like, yo, this dude, like, he got asthma, like almost like he puts Vaseline or Vicks around his nose to breathe, like seriously. But I'm like, yo, he is so nice. Like this is back when Denver still had Emmanuel Mudiay, man. Oh, wow. When he came to the Knicks, yeah. But I'm like, yo, he is just so smooth with it, man. Like this is, I mean, honestly, for him to get the Magic Johnson Award. To me, he's the best playmaking passer. And this is with Jason Kidd, right? He's the best playmaking passer I've seen. Just consistently just makes those whips. Just makes those whip passes. Just makes those lead passes to get guys shots effortlessly. He's amazing, bro.
Definitely the best big man passer. But to say he's the best passer of all time, that's I would.
No, I'm saying best pass. I'm saying best passer since. I'm saying best passer since Magic. Magic will forever be the best, right? So you got Magic and Bird with like 1 and 2, like one right there. Listen, I've seen some great passes, bro. One thing I know how to do is pass my damn self, and I love I love a guy that passes, man. He just passing big man, him, Will, and Sabonis on 1, 2, 3. Sabonis, if you remember Arvidas, right?
Arvidas was nice.
Yeah, man.
For the Trailblazers.
It's a shame he didn't come to the NBA sooner. It was something with the communism and all that, whatever. But Arvidas should have came in his prime. Yo, people would have known what he was about. But yeah, no, for real. But look at what he's doing in his playoffs, man. The efforts is 30, and then the shooting splits. I mean, it's just great. So I got to give him his love and put the Lakers to bed. Put all the Laker fans. That said scary hours and we're going to win a championship. I was like, slow down. Oh, well, look, we got, I'm like, yeah, y'all play teams that, I said Golden State needed a big man, right? I said that in the preseason. I'm like, they are not getting to the championship without a big man.
Right.
So many things that, they developed, played out that I said was going to happen. So I got to get on and holler about that. Sure.
Definitely, man. I'm gonna try to hop on with you too, and probably hop
No
on
doubt,
with some
no doubt.
people.
Always open invitation forever. I always,
Already.
it's fast.
Send me the invite. All right, bro,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Peace.
no doubt.
Safe out there in Brazil.
All right, man. Good night, bro. Thanks.
All right, man.
All right.